didn't just get back in charge, they stayed in charge. Most health transformations, they don't last. 80 to 95% of people will regain the weight within 2 years. But the men you're going to meet have defied those odds. Not in perfect environments, but in the real world. Whilst working, traveling, raising families, and carrying the pressures that come with being responsible for so much. Today, I'm joined by Simon Pearson, who was in the Back in Charge blueprint 4 years ago. And he's kept the results, he's kept his routines, he's kept his identity shift ever since. This conversation isn't about what happened during the program, it's about what happened after, how he's handled the stress, how he's handled setbacks, how he's traveled his work demands and life. And at the same time, he has still stayed in charge of his health, his energy, and everything else that he needs to. So let's get into it. Simon, thank you for coming on. Now it's not your first rodeo, this is it? It's not your first rodeo. And, it's great to have you on. And again, like 4 years ago, right? 4 years ago. So Si, like before we get into like we just said, like what's going on now? I want us to go back 4 years. Like what was happening in your life when you realized that health was slipping and something had to happen?
Well, I'd turned 40 in the summer of 2021. That's correct. Yeah, I know my age. I tried changing my diet, changing my training. It wasn't working. I'd seen testimonies and that on your Facebook page. I've known you for a very long time, and I was like, right, I need to change, make a change. So I got in touch. We had a chat, quite an emotional chat. I was 120 kg and incrementally made those changes to enable me to lose weight, learn about nutrition, training, setting goals over sort of weeks and months and years actually, and using, I suppose, technology to our advantage, like using the MyFitnessPal app, the fitness apps that you've developed over the years, to enable me to track change, track data, things like protein intake, everything that I needed to get me back in charge, I suppose.
That's it. Now, just before, like you said, you were topping out 120 kilos, right?
Yeah.
Now, the weight didn't just arrive, though, did it?
No.
For you, if I remember rightly, it was taking it was like a period of time, wasn't it? Like quite a long period. I think it was wasn't it? I think you said about like 18 years you were.
Yeah, quite possibly.
You struggled to lose weight for 18 years.
Yeah, it kind of went on and off. And then I changed from, I taught PE and I suppose my weight kind of yo-yo. But when I came out of teaching PE into office classroom work more, I was probably moving less, more stress, eating almost for, I don't know, not for not, I suppose for a little bit for comfort, for, if I was working long hours, I could just get a takeaway. Things weren't great with my ex at the time, back then. So it was all these things that compounded to the weight going on, and it just kind of just carried on going up and up. And I suppose over all that time, it just got worse and worse.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so like you're saying, like change of role. So going from quite an active role to being more office-based, sedentary.
Yeah.
Right. You've got the stresses. You've also got the convenience of the food. You've got the stresses, like relationship stresses.
Yeah.
And then all of that as well, right? So that's
absolutely.
The weight was then just creeping up, and you found yourself in a cycle, didn't you? Like you would lose weight, you could lose the weight, but you just couldn't. Like was it over the summer holidays you used to lose the weight, and then when work started again, you then put it back on?
Yeah, I suppose I had more time to train. I'd go on mad like long rides on my exercise bike, and it'd come off, feel good, and it'd creep back on again, and try and do the same. It just I couldn't do it by myself, and it kind of got to, I've got to make a change. I've been trying too long by myself, so I had to do something new.
So what was that moment for you that you realized that, you know what, I can't do this by myself?
I think it was. I think that summer I tried and I hadn't really got anywhere, or it wasn't quite. I think I'd had been productive in the summer, but then September, October comes through, and I'm falling into the same habits or the same things that are happening. I didn't really know what to do, so it was okay. Right, who do I know that could help me? And then I looked at the films on Facebook, YouTube that you'd done and what Kerry had done, and I was like, right, actually, I need to commit to something. I trust Adam. I've known you since we were 17, 18, so it was it was quite an easy reach out, and then actually we had that kind of fairly challenging but important sort of conversation, and actually it really made me realize I've got to do something and I can't do it by myself.
No, no, it was a challenging conversation,
It
wasn't it?
was,
But
yeah, absolutely.
yeah, no, I remember that. I do remember that conversation.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do remember it. Yeah, cool. So like you jumped in, you
Yeah,
jumped into the Back in Charge blueprint and all of that. And, like we say, it's 4 years ago, right? It was a lifetime ago, right? From where you are now, or
yeah.
just in general, right? It's four,
Mm.
4 years. Like, what was your experience, if you can remember? Because it was
Yeah.
like, what was your experience of it, and what were you surprised about?
I think I remember. Well, I remember like literally week one was like, right. The only change we made, we looked at what I think I was eating for lunch. It was like, right, stop eating.
It wasn't
Uh,
even that. That's week two.
a week two, so we had so changed it. So I'm now like king of Snacker Jacks. But I think it was just the incremental changes that was like, well, this is fairly okay. I can do this, and it was actually I think the diet actually being or changing what I eat and actually looking at nutrients was a bigger factor than I ever really imagined. So since then and to now, when I have had times where I can't train or for injury or whatever, actually keeping a really close eye on my diet for even just for a couple of weeks still enabled me to lose a little bit of weight, but actually I was okay with that, and actually that I learned a lot, and I still do it today. Like I still have the same lunch, which I love, it doesn't matter, but I still track, and actually that I learned that was really interesting, that didn't have to kill myself exercising. I could actually managing the diet and the sleep and that, and water intake was probably the biggest impact on the weight loss.
Cool. So like you were saying, is that the things that we did, you're still doing in a roundabout way now?
Yeah, absolutely. I still track what I eat most days, especially I think because of what I do, being a teacher, like it's very routine. So holidays, I quite like to have a routine holiday if I can. I know, I'm having a bit of a break from work and the students and that kind of very fast paced, demanding life. But
Yeah.
also, it's okay, right? If I do put a little bit of weight on, because I might have had a few beers on holiday or it's Christmas, actually, I know exactly what to do to lose a little bit, and I can use that. So I still use my fitness pal to track. I know my protein, what I should be hitting for protein, what I should be drinking, what I have different times of the day. And it works for me, and I like what I eat. It's not, rabbit food and rice cakes. It's protein, it's nice, tasty protein, it's tasty veg, it's fruit, it's I like water, you can get sugar-free squash, I drink that. It's everything. I like everything that I eat, but I manage it for me, and I really like that. I feel really in control, and and have done for several years.
Nice. So again, like what you've described there, like the behaviors and the habits, right?
Yeah,
But also a lot of what we do is the internal work,
yeah,
right? It's up here
yeah.
and in here. So for you, like what was the biggest internal shift that you had during your time?
I think it was. I can do this. It's not going to be overnight, but actually, it's going to take a little bit of time. But if you keep at it, you'll see the results. And I did, and I did, and I was like, right, I've got, you might get to 5K off, or it's almost like I haven't got this far just to come this far. It's like, right, what's next? It's getting 110, 105, getting sub 100. It was actually, and when you do lose it, it's the comments, people saying looking good, and that gives you that drive. Right, I'll keep going. It's actually right. Last week I couldn't do this, now I can. So all those little successes over time, over weeks, really pushes your self-esteem up. And I think my self-esteem's definitely improved because of everything I did in the Back in Charge blueprint, but also learning about myself. We'd often talk about what keeps me motivated if I'm doing an activity or task. What will keep me doing it? So we talked about I need things that are going to be interesting, exciting for me. Things that I'm really looking forward to doing this. This is really exciting. So if it is, I will do it. The accountability, knowing that I'd meet you once a week, once a fortnight. Numbers don't lie, and actually, you're there to coach me, to push me. But actually, if I don't do the work, well, what's the point? Like, it's almost like I'm wasting your time, I'm wasting my time. I didn't want that. I was like, I'm in this 100%. So let's go and smash it. And it just made me feel really good. I ended a relationship. I'm engaged now. So part of, I suppose, the shift was, right, I'm back on the dating scene. I want to feel good about myself. Am I going to be attractive to women? And I was, and I am, and I'm. It was such a
Journey,
amazing
right?
journey. Like it was great. I even remember you saying, "Oh, when are you going to start dating?" And I was like, "Oh, New Year." You're like, "Why?"
Yeah.
Well, it's New Year. You're like, well, so what? Like, it's just a day. So I started early, and like I met Anna when I met her, and it all the stars aligned. So again, thanks for the push.
You're welcome. You are welcome, Si. You're welcome. You're welcome. But that's something that I just want to pick on, is like with what you just said, is that we don't just celebrate the big wins.
Yeah.
Right. We're not just celebrating the milestones. Yes, of course we have those milestones there and we celebrate them. But like you say, is that you were celebrating the wins as you were going, right? And like you just said there, that then correlates with your belief that oh, I am doing it. Right. So again, it goes from, again, it's all up here. So it goes from I want, like when everyone starts, I want to do this. I want to lose weight. I want to get fit. I want to get healthy. I want to have more energy. I want to have more focus. I want all of this. I want to sleep better, right? Whatever it is, right? It goes from I want to, okay, I can do this because they get a few wins. Okay, yeah, I can feel good. I can do this. And then it's then, okay, yeah, I've done it. And then it's like, oh, I am doing it. Yeah, it changes your belief, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then it's like for you, it's like you then just become unstoppable. It's like, okay, well, what's next?
Yeah.
Like you just said, it's like, well, I've done that. Well, now what?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I did a half marathon in May for Acorns, for the children's hospice that we work with. Was next door to the school. Like, I couldn't have done that without all the work I'd done before. And actually, when I did get a few niggles and injuries, it was the belief that I had, that I developed, that enabled me to bounce back and keep going. Look, I mean, the week before I did the half marathon, I only ran a couple of K just to make sure I was okay to run. But then I did it, I smashed it. I was like over the moon with my time. It was hard. Like the last 2K were really hard. Yeah. But I'd done it and raised, thousands for, the children's hospice. But it was everything, I suppose, in the proofs that led up to it that allowed me to be able to do it and stay confident in myself to do it. So it was great, it was amazing. Really cool.
Nice. So tell me, like fast forward to now, like what does being in charge look like for you now on a daily basis?
It's being able, quite able to, I manage what I eat. If there's a blip, if I'm going out, if it's a change in routine, okay, that's fine. Doesn't matter. I've got this. I can do this. I can use that. I can eat this. I can eat that. It's dead easy. I can do different types of training. If I'm busy, right, doesn't matter. I can go out for a walk locally. Anna will go out for a walk. We're not going for walks. I know even things like, okay, if I'm training this, might do a rest day, try something else. I know what sort of amount of sleep is right for me when I need to go to bed. Sometimes if I'm feeling a bit lethargic, right, have I drunk enough? Okay, check. Right, no, I haven't drunk enough. Okay, checking that. I think even like new things at work, new challenges. Right, okay, how does that meet? My 5 pillars. Is that gonna hit my 5 pillars? Yes, no. Okay, if it's nearly okay, what can I do to change it? I suppose it's that self-awareness of what could affect me, what could maybe a little bit nervous, but actually then what have I got in my toolbox to help me out? I think the biggest thing for me is food, being really conscious of I think because that was the biggest change for me. It's actually right, okay, I'm doing XYZ, what am I going to eat, when am I going to eat, what can I take with me, those little things like that. But actually I've never, it doesn't phase me, but because I can manage it, I do think about it, of course I do, but that's me. But actually it's easy to manage. I'm conscious of my step. I know I like keeping an eye on my step count, so I walk more around school. I might go out for, if I'm going to have maybe an office space day, I'll go out for a walk at lunchtime. Little things like that are all keeping me going.
That's it, right? So you've got so what you've got is a better awareness
Yeah,
now of things.
absolutely.
You're aware of it. You're aware of like the amount of water you're drinking, the amount of your steps. You've got that
Yeah,
awareness. Like if things are a little bit off, okay, cool. Well, let me have a little look, and and you assess. Like
absolutely.
you're looking at the data, which is really good. And something that you just said as well is like when you're doing tasks at work, you're looking at that and be like, okay, cool. Well, how do my 5 pillars from the work
Yeah,
that you did inside the Back in Charge blueprint, how can you apply that to your work?
absolutely.
It's amazing.
It's brilliant. Like it changed my life, and it's kept me going, which has been amazing.
Nice.
Absolutely amazing.
Nice. So like before, like you said about the challenges before you started the Back in Charge blueprint, right?
Yeah,
And how that would affect you. But since finishing and you've
yeah.
been by yourself, like what challenges have come up since finishing and how did you handle them differently?
I think one summer I put a bit of weight back on, and I kind of got quite an indulgent summer holiday. And I didn't think much of it, but actually I was like, right, okay, I've put on more than I thought. Work gear was a bit tight, but actually, right, okay, let's get the tracker out. Let's think what's manageable, and actually got straight back into it. And I was on my calorie count, I was on my protein count, on my hydration, exercise. It was again like a mini challenge to get back down, and it was fine. I think knowing what I know and how to do it, actually, it was quite straightforward. And if sometimes I might look back at our recordings or look back at data, look back at stuff in notebooks that I've kept just to kind of give me a little bit of a kick up the backside, because ultimately, like, I've got to do it. I can't expect anyone else to tell me or to coach me. I have to do it. If I don't do it, then it's just I'll be back to where I was. And I was like, I'm never going back, never ever going back to that. So I was like, right, well, let's do it. And it takes a little bit of time, but once you see that first, loss, it just keeps going. So yeah, it's all good.
Nice. Really, really good. Really good. So apart from the weight,
Yeah.
like where else have you seen improvements within your life?
I think I think my self-esteem is improved. I feel better about myself outwardly, how I look, how others see me. Crikey, you can't beat people giving you compliments about the way you look. It's amazing. It's you feel so good about yourself. I mean, I was having to buy clothes online. Like, I'd go into shops and there wouldn't be like trousers, they wouldn't be my size, and I was like, geez, like this isn't good. So again, now it's like, well, I can buy this size and that and different brands and try and figure out
You
little
can
thing.
get the Levi's athletic fit, you were
I
saying,
can,
right?
absolutely. 34-inch Levi's athletic fit. If you live anywhere near Branch, they've got a nice outlet. There you go. But little things like that, it's like, and I'm trying different fits, and as my body shape change, it's for the good reason. It's all things like that. I was looking at some old like running times, and I'm so much quicker than I was when I was in my 30s. There's so many good things came out of it. That just like
You're engaged now as well, so
got engaged. Like, and Anna, we've been together, it'll be 3 years in March, but she tells people that she messaged me first. I won't deny it. I was driving to work when she messaged me, so I'll take that. But she was attracted to me. I had dates before, but none of them had held a candle to Anna. But I felt like attractive, like she feels is attracted to me. I'm obviously attracted to her, but it's great, like just self-esteem just through the roof, really.
Amazing. And like, for those that knew you previously, like, how did those people, like, how would they describe the difference that they've seen in you?
I think they'd say obviously a lot slimmer, lost weight. I think maybe stronger willpower. Like, I guess I remember we went out a few years ago. Me and the PE guys, we went out for lunch, and everyone's having burger or pizza, and I'd the fish. And oh yeah, Pearson's on the fish. Like, it's like, I said, yeah, I like fish. It's a nice meal. Like, I'm not just gonna have this because it's like Christmas dinner. I'll stick to it. And they're like, oh yeah, that's really good. So they're really impressed by me. It's we'd do circuit training. I'd be like leading the way, and they'd be really complimentary about what I'd lost, but actually how I'd kept it going as well. And just really nice comments about how maybe more self-confident I was. Just around life, really, I suppose.
Yeah, nice. That's really good. That's really, really good. And again, it's like, so look at it as well. It's like, you're making these changes, that those people are now becoming aware of it. They're seeing the changes.
Yeah.
But then, did you notice any changes within those people as well?
I think they'd ask me how I did it. I think we, between us, I tried to get friends to get involved with you. Some did, some didn't. But again, it's their up to them, innit?
Yeah, no. But what I mean is, it's just like they notice, right? So they're getting aware. They're getting their own self-awareness.
Yeah, I think
right?
they become aware
that's
of
what
how
it
they
is,
are.
right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's them becoming their own self-awareness. So then they can if they want to, they can then potentially make the changes because they've seen the change in you for the best, for the good, right?
Yeah, a lot of they did ask me about it, and I'd say what I did, and I'd say, look, you've got to commit. However you're going to do it, you've got to commit because it wasn't happening straight away. It's over time. But I told I suppose I told them the lessons they learned around the nutrition side, sleep, water intake, bits of exercise. And I said, no, look, it worked. I'll show you my diaries if you want, but it worked, and you have to stick to it. It's not, you can't go like Weight Watchers or whatever it is. This is more intense, but it works. It really, really works. And I think I inspired some of my friends, colleagues to do the same.
Amazing, right? Changing the world, Simon. Changing the world. Right? Well, that's it. All you got to do is change one person.
Yeah.
Then that person then changes another person. That's all it is, right?
Absolutely.
So that's it. So, like, finally, like, for any men that are watching this who feel stuck or out of control, like, what would you want them to know?
I think that you've got to have the conversation. You've got to be honest. You can't. It's no good hiding what's going on or keeping things back. The conversation we had was just me and you, like this. It's not recorded. it's, you may have made notes, or you make it, and I always did as well, but it's like, you knew what I needed to do to make those changes each week, each fortnight, and what I suppose we didn't predict what would happen, but we kind of had an idea of what would. And then it was okay, right, this week, try this. It's incremental changes. You held me account, which is what I wanted. And I think guys maybe need that. Like, actually, you give them the tools to make the changes, but actually having a bit of accountability to start it is really useful. And I would argue till night that people that it doesn't work. It does. Having accountability for this does work, because the data doesn't lie, the pictures don't lie, how you feel doesn't lie. All these positive things, because of the accountability, works. And then once the time is up, actually you've got enough to keep it going. And you checked in with me 6 weeks, 6 months. How's it going? Any questions? I'm at the end of my phone. And it works. It really works. The statistic you brought up right at the start, was it 80 to 90% go back? Actually, I've booked the trend, but because I did everything we talked about week on week, month on month, now year on year, it's made me feel amazing. I feel really good about myself. I'm fitter, I'm healthier than I've ever done before. Your life insurance premium drops, guys. Even things like that, little things like that make a difference. You can do your daily tasks. You can walk to where you need to go. All these things have a massive impact on how you feel about life. I sleep better. I don't snore. I don't have lower back problems. There's so much good that's come out of it. Little things that I didn't necessarily think would, but have been a result of everything else that I've done. Like, even like, new recipes, new flavors, things that I wouldn't necessarily have known about. Like, I now love swordfish, like things like that. Just little things, because of what we did, just opens up so many avenues to everything else.
Nice. We've opened up your mind, Simon.
Absolutely.
We've opened up your mind. So nice. But that's it, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like we talk about it with the guys, is that everyone's on this default path. Yeah. Everyone's on this default path. Nothing changes. Well, that's not true, because we've always got that destination. Our life is going to go in that destination, right? Direction, and we're going to end up there.
Absolutely.
So if you're overweight, you're not sleeping well, you've got high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, well, we know what's going to happen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yeah. But you started to make these little changes.
Yeah.
And now you've changed that direction. Oh, yeah. Now you're in there, and now you eat, like, look at it, you're having swordfish now. Who'd have known? Who'd have known, right?
I mean, I've been on like holiday city breaks. I mean, being able to walk around the city all day doing thousands of steps. If I was my weight and my fitness like I was 4 years ago, I wouldn't be able to do it. Or I'd be able to do it one day, I'll be absolutely hammered. Like, the next day, I wouldn't be able to. My feet would be aching, or I'd have a bad back or whatever. I'd be like, oh, sorry, I can't go out this day. Little things like that make a hell of a difference to life. And I'm so glad that I did it.
That's it, right? So glad, because again, like, going back to that initial call, I remember it, right? You were like, oh yeah, but we're coming up to winter, and what if?
Yeah.
Right. What if? So
that's it. And I had to take charge.
You did, right? You had to make that decision, Simon. No, but it's like, I'm so happy for you. So happy for you, right?
Thank you.
So I really, really am. And again, thank you for taking the time out. 4 years on.
My pleasure.
And here we are.
My pleasure.
Here we are. So, guys.
I genuinely think if people aren't sure, have a chat with you, but you'd be crazy not to do it. Like, there's enough testimonies from Adam's years doing this in Kerry's that it works. Like, no one can say, I've watched all these, I don't believe it. It's rubbish. You've got to do it. It works. It massively, massively works.
Nice. Thank you. But you've got to do the work.
You've got to do the work. Right? Absolutely.
You've got to do the work. So, Si, well done on doing the work, staying in charge. And that's what it's about. So, Thank you. So thank you for joining us for this episode of the Sustainability Series. Most men, they don't struggle to lose the weight. They struggle to keep it off, especially when life is busy, it's stressful, and it's unpredictable. What you heard today is proof that long-term change is possible, even for men who once believed that maybe it wasn't. So if something in this conversation resonated with you, or if you feel like you've been holding everything together whilst your own health quietly slips into the background, this is your reminder. You can take back control and keep it. I'm Adam Alexander. Thank you for watching and listening to the Sustainability series, where men didn't just get back in charge, they stayed in charge.